Hello everyone, my name is Ikra Damji, and today I'll be talking about a disease which is very common in our country and in our world. It's called the Alzheimer's disease. Today the purpose of this speech would be to inform the people in the audience about Alzheimer's. I would like people to know about the symptoms and the different treatments that are involved in this disease or illness. The Alzheimer disease is defined as one of the most common type of dementia that causes alterations in the brain, leading to different behaviors, thinking, and some disruptions in the memory. This disease is caused over a long span of time and is mostly caused to people who are over the age of 60. There have been several symptoms that are identified or correlated to the Alzheimer's disease, but however, there hasn't been any specific cure or specific treatment for this illness. Now imagine looking at yourself one day in a mirror and not being able to recognize yourself, or not being able to remember your name or where you're standing or where you belong or the people who are around you. This feeling, this disrupted and this sad feeling is usually experienced by people who are suffering from the Alzheimer's disease. I would like to talk about this topic because this topic is really close to my heart. I've known in my entire life, I've known two people who've suffered from Alzheimer's disease, and even though they're not super close to me, I was very affected when they suffered from the disease, because those were the two most amazing people I've known in my life. They were very happy when they were not suffering from the illness. They were extremely joyful. They enjoyed their life to the fullest. However, when they were caused by the disease, they became very their life became extremely miserable, and they were not able to live their life fully, eventually passing by. Eventually they passed away. Why I'm gonna talk about this topic is because people in this world people in the audience would be thinking that this topic has nothing to do with us. However, dementia or Alzheimer's is one of the most common diseases that are caused in this world. It is more than 60% of the world is affected by it, and it is the sixth most common illness, and therefore I would like people to know about this, so that in future, if anybody in their surrounding is caused by it, they are aware of the symptoms and maybe the few treatments that are related to the Alzheimer's. Today I would like to make our audience aware of the signs and symptoms about the illness. Alzheimer's is defined as an irreversible brain disorder that causes hindrance in our thinking skills and in our memory. I would like to first discuss the symptoms and the treatment of the illnesses, and then briefly mention the stages that are involved in the illness. Firstly, my idea would be to discuss the main symptoms and signs of the illness that are involved in Alzheimer's, and secondly, propose some treatments or some cures that could be used to reduce Alzheimer's. According to Alzheimer's Association, Alzheimer's disease accounts for 60% to 80% of the dementia cases. In our brain, we have billions and billions of nerve cells that, when attacked by abnormal proteins such as plaques and tangles, can cause Alzheimer's. These proteins cause disruption in the nerve connections, and those eventually lead to memory problems or problems in thinking. These disruptions can often lead to various stages that are involved in Alzheimer's. They can go from early to mild to moderate, and then eventually extreme. According to Healthline, genetics may also play a part in causing Alzheimer's. One gene is particular of interest to researchers. It is called APOE, as a gene that is usually linked to Alzheimer's symptoms in older adults. Even though age is a very common factor in Alzheimer's, genetics can also be a part of causing Alzheimer's, and gene mutations can eventually lead to displacement in the chromosomes that eventually lead to Alzheimer's. Now, listing some of the main symptoms of the disease are difficulties in conducting simple tasks, decreased judgment, lack of hygiene, sudden personality and mood changes, and trouble with remembering basic information. According to WebMD, Alzheimer is one of the top leading causes of death in the United States, and an estimated of 5.3 million Americans have Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is estimated to have been spent about $130 billion. So medical field has spent about $130 million on this particular illness. So even with so many medical researches done, is there no way that Alzheimer's could be cured? Well, according to a lot of research, it is said that Alzheimer's symptoms are not recognized before the age of 60, and therefore it is also termed as late onset disease. While there is no particular cure about or prevention related to the illness, US has approved four medications that could reduce Alzheimer's. And I keep saying reduced because it cannot be totally cured. The first one is donepezil, which is for every stages. Then it's galantamine for mild to moderate stages. Then memantine for moderate to severe. And then rivaroxaban for mild to moderate. Now, these drugs are extremely costly, and people sort of divert themselves to some other treatments. Doctors have found that sleep patterns are affected by Alzheimer's. So changing your sleep patterns could also be a good way to cure Alzheimer's or reduce Alzheimer's. However, there are no 100% cure for this. People involved in the medical field are still doing a lot of research to manage this disease. There are several in order to conclude this speech, I would like to say that there are several symptoms and signs that are involved in Alzheimer's. However, there's no particular cure for this, and this disease can be caused to people who are above the age of 65. For audience, this is very beneficial speech because this would allow you to appreciate your life, appreciate the people around you, and help them in times of difficulty. And now that you're aware of the symptoms and signs of the disease, you can help people to lead to a better and a beneficial treatment. Thank you.